I'm going to go through this presentation quickly since it is late in the day, and you have this on your flash drive. And one of the things that I made sure that I did on the presentation is put links to all the information that I'll be talking about today. Basically, there's 5 things that I think are good tools for trustees and regents to use in fact-checking. As you've heard today, there's the role of your president and the administration is to provide regents and trustees with the information you need. And I'm sure they're doing that to the best of their ability. But what the tools that I want to present to you today, these are tools that you can use if for some reason you don't think you have all the information that you need to make your decisions. These are tools that we provide to the public and to your staff, and I believe that you'll find that a lot of the information your presidents and chief financial officers are providing to you come from these sources. So it is and we hope they are, because that way we know that the information has been provided, and it's the same information that you will find at any of the 50 districts in the state. Earlier today, my boss, Susan Brown, presented this new website. This is Texas Higher Education Data. This is this website that you should be using. It has all higher ed data and a lot of K-12 data for any information you need about high school to college. So I would use this as your source for data. Everything that we put on this has been certified by the institutions as accurate. And so we're not, we don't just make up our data. This is all information that your schools, the public schools and the colleges have provided to the coordinating board, and their presidents have certified that it's accurate. The other source, if you haven't already gotten your copy, we have a copy online. Is the 2012 Almanac. This is our 2nd year of producing the Almanac, and as long as we can get funds to continue this, we will be doing this on an annual basis. Susan also talked about the accountability system. I want to point out in the red box on the corner, this here, all of these, there's a lot of formatted reports that are provided in our accountability system. But if you're a data person or like to do data mining, we have an interactive access over here that you can use for digging even deeper. These are the standard form screens for the accountability system. One of the newest things that we've added, and we've talked about success points today. I've heard them talk on our accountability system. You'll see that it's momentum points. We provide for all the 50 districts. We provide the momentum points. This is the statewide total that's on the screen here. So the proposals that are being mentioned for momentum points or success points deals with the schools that when if you take your institution's total points and you divide it by the statewide average, that'll tell you what percentage of the success funding that your institution will get. And we have this for the last 3 years. On this screen, it just shows 8, 9, and 10, but we also have 11 on the website. A new report that we added on our higher ed data a couple of years ago is institutional profiles. The legislature asked us to produce these. There's one for policies, and there's one for students and parents. So there's 2 versions of the resumes. Here's kind of a screenshot of the one for legislators and policymakers. Costs are one of the things that are on there. And this is kind of what you'll look at, is that we have identified a peer group for your institution. So when you're looking at your institution's resume, there'll be a comparison on the right to the peer group. And on that resume will be which institutions make up your peer group. And we go through a number of metrics on the resume, and all of them you'll see a comparison to a peer group in your institution. Okay, this is one of the projects that I worked on when I was at Brazosport. Before, this is a similar model, kind of adapted to what the state auditor used to use for risk assessment. It's an institutional reporting tool that the coordinating board has developed, and all we did was develop the web portal. The institutions themselves are voluntarily providing the data for this tool. Up until a year and a half ago, this was not a public site. It is now a public site. Even though this system shows a login, down here at the bottom, you'll notice that these are reports. Passwords are not required for these reports, and I'll show you a few samples of the reports. This is, you can look at trends for your institutions. The data goes back to 2006, so you can look at right now 5 years of trends of financial information on your website. And basically, this is your annual financial report in a data form, in a tabular form. The institutions input this information from the exhibits and schedules from your annual financial report, so you can do comparisons to trends on your institutions, and you can also do trends with other institutions, and you select your peer group that you want to compare it to. In this example, I'm comparing Alamo Community College to Austin Community College over a 3-year period, and you can look at the trends. We do a lot of ratio analysis on this site, and so you can pick ratios, you can do trends of ratios, you can compare one institution to another in ratios, and so I mean, we've got just about every ratio that you can think of, both from the student perspective and also from the financial analysis perspective. We do FTE analysis as well as faculty analysis. The reports are available in HTML, in PDF, which is Adobe, and Excel, and also an active HTML. And okay. Now, one of the reasons that we think that we can provide financial information on a consistent basis across all 50 community colleges is that the coordinating board is required legislatively to set the reporting standards for your institutions. We determine as a group, we have an annual financial report advisory group of institutional and auditors that meets annually and comes up with the standards for your annual financial report. So we incorporate all the new governmental accounting standards as they're released, and those are, if you want to know what those standards are, you must be a CPA, but the annual financial report and budget requirements are on our website if you want to delve into that. Earlier, Johnette talked about a cost study. The cost study is actually data that the institutions provide to the coordinating board. And from the cost study, which is available on our website, it's right here on the bottom under report of fundable operating expenses, and we do one every year. From all 50 institutions providing us cost data by contact hour, for each program, we're able to come up with a program cost per contact hour average for the state. But in our report, you'll actually get the individual institution's costs. So if you want to look at, let's say your school has a career pilot program, You want to look at the state average for a career pilot. The faculty salaries is $8.54 per contact hour. Their total cost is 31, and it actually went down in 2009-10, but it's about $35 a contact hour for a career pilot program. We don't have many of those in the state, but if you look at biology and English and other programs, you'll see that every institution has those. And that's another tool that your president, your academic vice presidents can use to evaluate the cost of their program to other similar programs in the state. Most important, the last slide on your handout, this PowerPoint, is our accountability group staff directory. And so if you ever have any questions about what things that are on our website, you can call myself. My number's on there. Susan Brown's number's on there. Tom Keaton is the Finance and Resource Planning Director, and he's also available. Well, I've got an old staff member on there. It's no longer there, but anyway, I wanted to run through that. I know it's fairly quick, but you have all of this on your flash drive. But I'll stop here and see if you have any questions about the Planning and Accountability Division or any of this data. Yes, sir.
The metrics for performance-based funding for community.
Thank you.
The metrics for performance-based funding for community colleges have been established, pretty much.
Well, there's two proposals that have been made. One that has been recommended to our board, and our board meets at the last Thursday of October, and they're going to approve their recommendation. The Community College Association also has a proposal for what those metrics should be, and I would say that we're 85 to 90% in agreement with what the metrics will be, because those are just recommendations to the legislature, and I can't say that things are determined until the legislature decides.
Okay, once they're established, then will you provide a report as to how each college will perform under those metrics?
Exactly. Okay. We already have on our website, on the accountability system, the report on how each institution is doing on the metrics that we're proposing. Okay. And once the legislature decides what the metrics will be, we will revise our data that's on the website and put out that information to the public. Any other questions?